fish. Heavy fish. He's close to, he was jumping. Got him on a Rapala. Hard to control him on this side of the kayak. Oh, he's beautiful. Nice big fish. Woo! So there's the lure, nothing special, just your standard small silver and black, shad pattern Rapala. A floater, not a sinker. And I was trolling right at 2.4 miles an hour with that Rapala, about 4 to 5 feet deep max, I would say.
FishHuntShoot.com offers a variety of tackle as well as rods and reels designed to get you on more and bigger fish. Check it out today at FishHuntShoot.com.
Howdy folks, Cal Kellogg here. It's time to talk about one of our favorite lures, minnow plugs. As everybody out there knows that trout fishes or, trolls for landlocked kings, minnow plugs are a great lure for hooking a bunch of fish, and they're also great lures for hooking trophy-sized fish. What do big fish eat? They eat smaller fish, and that minnow plug, well, it looks like a minnow. Part of the reason that they're so effective is that slim profile, and they put off a good hard wobble. They make a lot of vibration, and it looks like something a predator can swallow pretty easily. A lot of times, your broader lures, well, they'll discourage strikes simply because, kind of on an instinctive level, predatory fish know if they eat something that's too large, it can get stuck in their throat, stuck in their gills, and it could ultimately kill them. But when they see something slim and thin like that, they know they can grab it by the tail, and they can easily, turn it around head first and swallow it. So that's part of the appeal of a minnow plug. It looks like what the fish eat. It looks slim. It looks easy to swallow. Puts out a lot of vibration. It looks like an injured bait fish, and that injured gazelle out there in Africa, well, that's the animal the lions target. Same thing with the minnow plug. It looks injured. It looks like it's struggling, and it really turns on those big predators. Now, growing up, I was a huge fan of the standard floating Rapala, and I always kind of scratched my head a little bit about the jointed versions like this. This is just a beautiful plug. This jointed J9 Rapala in a rainbow pattern. This one sinks. This is a standard floater. But the thing that kind of baffled me is, why would you use a jointed lure? I remember my Uncle Bob. We used to go down to San Francisco Bay and do a lot of plugging for stripers. And my dad, he was a straight minnow plug guy, but my Uncle Bob, he loved those jointed versions. Well, now, 40 years later, I've got a lot of days on the water under my belt, and these are my observations. Your mileage may vary, but this is kind of my recommendations on when you choose the standard straight version and when you choose the jointed version. So, first things first, when a lot of guys think about fishing minnow plugs, they think about fishing fast. And if you're going to fish fast, you're going to troll 3 to 4, maybe 5 miles an hour, you want the straight version. In my mind, this is a version that you can troll faster. It has a more subtle action, so it has more action at higher speeds. So if I'm going to power troll, I'm going to troll fast, I'm probably going to reach for the standard Rapala. Now, the jointed version, or as a lot of us like to call it, the broken back version, this lure has more action. It's not rigid. It has a joint in the center. So it has more action at lower speeds. If you think you need to go slower, this is a great choice if you're trolling. If I'm casting, if I'm fan casting from the shore of a lake or from a boat, maybe I'm casting at, a point or a creek coming into the lake, something like that, I really like the jointed version. You can't cast it quite as far. It's not quite as aerodynamic. It kind of flops around in the air. But that disadvantage is kind of overpowered by the extra action the lure gives you. And the same goes in creeks and rivers. I can fish it slower with more action. It also lends itself well. A lot of times when I'm fishing a river, I don't want to be retrieving the lure. I want to cast it across, maybe retrieve it a little bit, but I want to let it swing in the current without retrieving line, but I still want that good swimming action, and that jointed version will give you that. So kind of in closing, I choose my minnow plugs based on the speed that I anticipate retrieving them. If I'm going slow, I'm going jointed. If I'm going fast, I'm going with the standard, solid, stiff version, the floater, or the countdown model, but I'm going for the version without the joint in it. So just my notes on the broken back or jointed version minnow plugs and your standard minnow plugs. Your mileage may vary, but one thing I can tell you for sure, you need a good supply of minnow plugs in your box. They are trophy producers, and sometimes they'll produce fish when nothing else will. Anyway, this is Kel Kellogg. I'm signing off for now. Go get yourself some Rapalas. I'll catch you later. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit it now. And thanks for all the support, folks. I'll catch you next time right here on YouTube.